Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our press conference today to inform you or enlighten you about the activities that we will be engaging in for the Errol Barrow Memorial Week. Now, many of you know that we're almost into 2 decades of celebrating the life of the right excellent Errol Walton Barrow, the founding father of our great political party. We have a varied schedule of activities that we felt would be intergenerational, that everybody can take part in, and we needed to share that information with the public and our wider membership. Today, I have with me the General Secretary, Steve Blackett, who will be giving you the details of the activities that we intend to participate in. And we are looking forward to seeing you cheering us on at whatever you can attend during this week. So I will hand over to Comrade Blackett.
Thank you so much, Comrade Irene. Good morning to the members of the press and those who are listening online. As Irene said, this is an annual event, the Errol Barrow Week of Activities, and it will run from the Friday the 19th of January to the Sunday the 21st. We are starting on the 19th, Friday the 19th, with our usual lecture, awards, ceremony, and of course that will include this year a naming ceremony, which we will start with here at the George Street Auditorium, the naming ceremony of the George Street Auditorium. That will be at 6 o'clock, followed at 6:30 by the 7 o'clock, that is exactly 7 o'clock, with the Errol Barrow Memorial Lecture. And we were privileged this year to attract Mrs. Alison Maynard Gibson, KC. She's the former Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. She will be our guest lecturer this year, and therefore we are pleased to have with us a person of this stature to deliver the lecture. That will be followed at 7:30 by the awards ceremony. This year we are having unusually the 6 awards, 4 awards. The Pride of Barbados, which will be going to 4 of our outstanding citizens. And there's a new award this year that the party has approved and initiated, the Gertrude Eastman Award, that will be going to one of our other noble members who will be receiving that award. And then, of course, to round off tonight, we have the Mirror Image Award, which is our highest award of the party, and followed, of course, by the usual cocktail reception, which will round off the evening's activities. So that is on the 19th. On the 20th, we are venturing into the constituency of St. John. We are having a T20 cricket match. It's the Errol Barrow and the David versus the David Thompson 11. That's the Errol Barrow and David Thompson Memorial T20 Cricket Classic. And we are pitting 2 teams against each other. That is the Errol Barrow 11 and the David Thompson 11. Just let me speak to some of the players. Some of them are national and international cricketers who will be appearing on that evening and that T20 Cricket Classic. For the Errol Barrow 11, that is going to be led by former national youth batsman Von Rick Nurse, and it has some players of the status of Ashley Nurse, Patrick Brown and Sean Armstrong, Joshua Haynes, Andre Cook, Joel Moore, Richard Young, Michael Roach, Kevin Howard, and Philip Howell. On the David Thompson 11, that will be led by Barbados and West Indies player Shamar Brooks. We have on it national players Rivaldo Clark, Richmeal Jordan, Shane Howard, Lamar Wiggins, Frank Skeet, Shamar Waite Garner, Adrian Howell, Shaquan Padmore, Joshua Husbands, and Charles Antrobus. The umpires that night, they have kindly consented to give up their services, and that is umpires Dwayne Eswick and Alex Bellamy. I encourage people to come out in their numbers and support this match. It will be held, of course, at the Horatio Cook Pavilion in Gall Hill in St. John, and the starting time is 7 p.m. That is loaded with excitement, and I'm encouraging not only members of the Democratic Labour Party, but also members of the general public to come out and participate in this celebration of two great men, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow and our former Prime Minister David John Howard Thompson. And that will be held again, I'll just repeat, at the Horatio Cook Pavilion in Gall Hill in St. John, starting at 7. On the Sunday the 21st, we are going to church. We have got the permission from the pastor and the presbytery of the First Baptist Church, and they are willing to facilitate our participation in their morning service at 10 o'clock at the First Baptist Church in Constitution Road. Pastor Paul Leacock has kindly consented to have us part of his congregation on that morning. So that's 10 o'clock on Sunday, the 21st, First Baptist Church, Constitution Road. The party will be participating in this service. Right after the service, we're going to journey to the statue of the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow in Independence Square, where we'll be laying 2 wreaths in his honor on the same morning of the church service, right after the church service. And then the same night, on the 21st of January, we are journeying back to St. John, this time in Carter's in St. John, at the Penalty Spot Sports Bar, just outside in their car park at Carter's in St. John, for our Community Connects public meeting. That will be held on the night of Sunday, January the 21st, Errol Barrow Day, starting at 7 p.m. We have 5 speakers so far identified to speak at that meeting, along with President Ronnie, dealing with many issues of the day. And as you know, there are several issues to be addressed, and therefore we'll be addressing as many as possible. In-house, we are arranging to have bus transportation to transport not only our members, but members of the general public who are desirous of attending that meeting. So far, we have arranged to have a bus leaving the George Street Auditorium for transportation to Carter's in St. John and back for a cost of $20. Our members of our secretariat are currently working on soliciting any other members of the branches across Barbados who are desirous of organizing transportation for that event. A member of our secretariat, Arlette, she is responsible for that activity. And if you so desire, you can call here at the office at the secretariat, and Arlette will be happy to facilitate you. But I know for a fact that we're organizing at least 1 bus leaving the auditorium, and we're asking you to call no later than Friday, the 19th, to organize if you want to join, if you want to book a space on the bus leaving the auditorium. Arlette, of course, will facilitate any other constituency who's desirous of participating in this arrangement. So that's the program for the Errol Barrow Week, starting on the 19th, Friday the 19th of January, running through to Sunday the 21st, starting first with our lecture series and awards ceremony and the naming of the George Street Auditorium, followed, of course, by our church service and, our cricket match at the Horatio Cook Pavilion in Gall Hill in St. John. And that starts at 7 o'clock. That's on the Saturday, the 20th. And then on the 21st, the Sunday, we're going to church at the First Baptist Church in Constitution Road. And then our public meeting at Carter's in St. John, part of our Community Connects series of meetings. And that's it.
Thank you, Comrade Blackett. Well, you have a packed schedule there. Are there any queries from those present?
Good morning, everyone. Trey from the Nation. Would you guys be able to go ahead and perhaps explain the rationale behind the renaming ceremony? Because we understood that there was a bit of a controversy regarding what is being named Mr. Barrow's name.
The renaming ceremony sprung out of a resolution that was tabled, discussed, debated, and passed at our last annual conference here at the auditorium, the 68th annual conference. And all of the resolution mandated that the party seek to rename the auditorium in honor of our former prime minister, national hero, and founding father of the party.
Hi, morning again. Sharia Brathwaite from Barbados today. But as we understand, a lot of persons, were saying that Barrow himself publicly said that he didn't want, any such honor in that respect in terms of, having a building named after him. So how would you respond to that?
Well, this auditorium is now 42 years old. We are saying that, yes, maybe the right excellent gentleman may have said that 42 years or longer than that. Subsequent to all of that, several monuments and statues have been erected in Barbados in his honor. The Errol Barrow Center for Creative Imagination has been named after him. His picture appears on our $50 bill. A statue was erected in Independence Square in his honor. A park was also erected and named in his honor in the Pinelands in St. Michael. And while all this is going on, the house that Barrow built is standing as a tribute to his blood, sweat, and tears. And therefore, 42 years later, I believe, because it was not the initiative of the leadership of the party, this initiative sprung out of the members of the party through the resolution. And therefore, they thought it fit that while all of these monuments were attributing to his recognition as a national hero and a founding father of the party, and of course, the nation builder responsible for several of our important social developments in Barbados, we should take the initiative at this time to honor his name by naming this auditorium after him.
And Sharia, to add to Steve's list, excuse me, remember that the Right Excellent Earl Walton Barrow was said to have said that he didn't want a state funeral. Remember? If you were old enough, because you don't look old enough, but I figure you did your history right. So you have his sister, Dame Nita Barrow, who was, I guess, part of the organizing committee for his funeral, insisting that he had a state funeral. We have to remember sometimes that leaders evolve from political leaders to national icons. And when they become national icons, there's a different status attributed to them, so that we are told the anecdotal tales of what your political leaders say and do. But when they become national icons, those who revere them and respect them look at them in a different light. And I think this is what has happened there, because it was a very fiery debate on the floor. And what is instructive is that pursuant to that debate, 4 months after that debate, there's suddenly this great interest in objecting to the naming of the auditorium. 4 months during the week of activities, then we are finalizing plans to do the same.
And just to add to this, what Comrade Irene has just said, if there was one misstep that we would have made as a party, it is probably not informing the family. And at this point, as General Secretary of this party, I want to proffer an apology to the family that this was not done. But certainly, anybody who knows how this party operates would know that anything we do to honor the memory of the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow is done in a good spirit. And therefore, if we offended the family in any way, we would want to proffer an apology to them. But certainly what we're doing here is honoring the wish of the highest decision-making body of this party outside of the General Council, that is the annual conference. And the annual conference spoke overwhelmingly to renaming the auditorium. And that is what we are doing. Not the leadership, but the members, the rank and file members of this party opted to do such.
Outside of political activities, the auditorium is used for other purposes?
Oh, yes. Since 2018, we have spent a lot of energy and money that we solicited through donations and other forms of philanthropy from people who are interested in this party. Because as you know, we are not the recipients of the annual subvention from central government. We have, since 2018, first under former President Barrow de Pisa and General Secretary Gyson Mears, they started the process of the refurbishment of this building. And when I say this building, I'm talking about the building that we're currently in. The administrative block of this party used to reside in the building that is now fallen into disrepair. The office and the administrative arm of the party was moved from that block into this building. Where you're sitting now was the rear of the original auditorium. We have spent considerable time and resources in refurbishing the building, bringing it to a stage where, for once in a number of years, it is now commodious enough that it can facilitate functions, weddings, parties, dances, and other commercial and cultural activities. We have been receiving several bookings over the last number of months, and therefore we have created a new revenue stream in the absence of this subvention, where we can survive, pay our bills, and keep all of our facilities functioning. So that is where we are. Since 2018, we have moved the party, moved the physical structure, and moved the physical amenities around this place to a place where we can once again offer it on the market as a place where we can rent it for all of these events, weddings, dances, and other functions. Honoring the memory, because a lot of cultural events have also been held here and are booked to be held here.
Any more questions? Everybody's happy? Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you for attending, all of you who are here this morning, and we look forward to seeing you at our celebrations. Thank you.
Thank you.